Good afternoon. I'm here on Poet to Poet, Writer to Writer, and I'm here with my guest and friend, Tomas O'Leary. Welcome to the program, Tomas.
Thank you, Doug. I just noticed that this screen makes me look extraordinarily fat.
Oh well.
Look at
That makes me look extraordinarily bald.
Yeah, well, there we are, extraordinary, both of us.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to read an introduction to you, Tomas, so in case you're not acquainted with yourself.
Okay, please.
So Tomas O'Leary's third full-length of collection of poetry, A Prayer for Everyone, is just out from Alora Press. Is that how it's pronounced?
It is Ilora, but that's the second last, the most recent one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Is this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the Wellspring of the Year. I don't have this one.
I'll give you a copy of it.
Oh yeah, wow, great. And this can be purchased at the Grolier, at Porter Square, I imagine. Many places, right?
I think so.
Amazon. It's a beautifully done book. And A Prayer for Everyone. And of the of your poems in general, I think X.J. Kennedy said, I relish their verve, their cheerful strain of Irish blasphemy. And Rhymer's Horoscope is the best poem of poetry I've read in years. That's from your previous collection, A Prayer for Everyone. You also have books, Our Fool for the Funeral and Devil That Took a Crooked House from the Lynx House. You hold an MFA in poetry and an MA in expressive therapies and taught for years and years. We'll work with people who have Alzheimer's. You play the Irish accordion, sing on key, doodles artistically, and translates poetry from the Spanish. So quite the experience there. Now, I'm going to go back to that quote. X.J. Kennedy said of your work, characterize your work as a cheerful strain of Irish blasphemy. What do you think he meant by that?
Pretty much just what he said.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
Well, I think it's in line with his own expression. You know, lots of blasphemy, but never meanly intended.
Mm-hmm. I mean, blasphemy against the church, about the standard order, I guess, whatever.
Yeah. If I might be a bit paradoxical, it's both. It's aimed both at the church and also not really at all. It hopes to generalize as blasphemy that doesn't destroy, that it actually uplifts rather than.
Well, what's Irish blasphemy as opposed to regular blasphemy?
Oh, Irish blasphemy is invariably better, you know.
How so?
Well, number one, it's Irish,
right,
and then because it is the blather that enwraps it becomes exquisite in the speaking. Can you get a hint of that? You know, even as I express myself.
Yes, I could see it already. I can see it already. Now, we're here in Somerville.
Yes.
Right out there is Union Square, right?
That's right.
You grew up in Somerville, right?
I did.
Tell us a bit of your history. This is a Somerville program.
Yeah, my grades 1 through 8 grammar schools right up the street here.
Wow.
Just past the church, St. Joseph's Church. I went there for 8 years with 5 years of Notre Dame nuns.
May I ask you, what was Union Square like then?
It was older, and it was, you know, it was quite navigable.
Nothing like today, or is it?
Well, there used to be a monument in the middle of the square. That's gone.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see that go.
To who?
I'm trying to remember. There used to be a cop box, you know, for traffic, right there crossing Washington Street where the church is.
And there were slaughterhouses down the block.
Slaughterhouses. I visited those as a kid a few times.
Yeah.
Dwyer's, I think. Squires.
Yeah, Squire, and they said there was a big fire there. It smelled like a barbecue at one point.
Yeah, an enormous fire. I forget just when that was. Yeah.
All right, so you grew up here in Somerville. What else about Somerville do you remember fondly? And how?
Well,
I mean, where did you get your poetic bent from? Here, your family was poets or lovers of literature, or what?
Well, you know, they were Irish.
Right.
Not, you know, not to overstress.
Right, the Irish
emotion,
bit, yeah.
Because you know, I'm not at all ethnically branded, as you
Yeah.
know. There was always lots of singing. My father he was a wonderful singer, and he was always singing around the house.
Really?
Yeah, and he would recite little streams of poetry at whim. And
Was he from Ireland? Or
he was, yeah, both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
He was from Cork, and my mother was from Mayo.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, it's the absorption of a strain of speaking and being. It's I don't know how to pinpoint the notion that I'm a poet because I was so affected, but I guess it was.
There's a musicality to the.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was singing, so of course. Right?
It was, yeah, and he had this old squeeze box, this old accordion.
Which you have?
Well, I have an
One,
accordion.
not
yeah.
his.
There was a lovely old wooden accordion, which was also a Hohner, as this is, and it was always, you know, there around the house. So I started picking it up when I was about 5 years old.
Wow.
And that's the only way I ever learned to play it.
What'd your father do?
He was a warehouse worker.
Okay.
For years and years. And then when they went on strike for the I don't know, 7th or 8th time in the course of years, he managed to get a job at Harvard as a custodian, and he did that for almost 20 years. And when he retired, they gave, you know, he received a chair from Harvard.
Wow.
It's, you know, it's good to get a chair.
Yeah. You have a poem about a chair I was reading.
Oh, yeah, that I just wrote
yeah,
recently,
yeah.
yeah. Not about my father and
No,
his chair.
no.
Yeah.
Chair of your own.
Yeah, I think my sister-in-law got his chair.
Yeah.
I wanted it, sort of, but not that much, because it wasn't that comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, I get a sense, I mean more than a sense, that words are your playthings.
Mm.
Would you say that? I mean, you constantly can elaborate on that, maybe.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I would project that to practically any poet. They are to some extent. Yeah, I love words for the sounds they can make.
The ambiguities of the words.
Also, yeah, the paradoses even.
Yeah.
Paradoses, would you put it that way? The paradoxes.
I don't know. That's a pretty good word, though.
It's an old way of saying paradoxes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to play with words. But, you know, of course, it's very important to take them seriously, too, you know.
Right.
So I take them seriously as I play with them.
As you play with them, right.
Yeah.
Right. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And you have fun. You're not one of the, you know, I mean, it seems you have a lot of fun where you're not one of these brooding guys.
No. Well, you know, brooding that's my own sort of, you know, private concern. You know, I think it's better to brood in private rather than, you know.
Right.
Where do you like to brood?
I brood everywhere. I mean, it's not very, I'm a Jewish neurotic.
Okay, well, that's a marvelous confession. It's not even a confession, it's just a,
Yeah.
right? No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the Irish are known for brooding too, right?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I'm a terrible brooder.
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
And you know, one truth doesn't necessarily.
But you seem to have a lot of fun, and you always have the twinkle in your eye to use your cliche, and your poetry always has a.
So good folks bring that out in me, is what it is. That's what I think. You know? It's like hanging out with that rowdy bunch, the bagel bars on Saturday.
Yeah.
I always get there after you're gone because you're so early and I'm so late.
Yeah. Not because I brood. No.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I've checked that out. So what's Doug like when I'm not here?
Now, and you know, you've got a few of our magazines that you were in here.
I have.
We've published you, and you've been published many places, and You even had a book from the Grolier Poetry Bookshop, right? That was published by the Grolier Press, was it?
That was, yeah, A Prayer for Everyone.
Yeah.
Elora is the name of the press.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
But you've been you were in this one. It's a couple issues right here. You might want to.
I might.
Yeah.
Would you? Shall I say a poem?
Well, we will after I get
okay.
through.
There's no hurry.
Grilling you.
Right? See, you got me excited. I put these on my lap.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, you worked with Alzheimer's patients for many years using poetry and music, and I mean, I know you don't consider yourself a clinical man, but I've heard a lot of studies where they say, for instance, if you play music for Alzheimer's, read poetry, sometimes they have these lucid moments that come out of this. Is that true? Have you
Definitely true.
that?
Definitely true to me. Yeah.
Oh.
Say, I play with a group of maybe 25 people, and the place might be dead silent when I walk in, a kind of customary silence, and I impose myself and kick it into action a bit, and the folks come around to various extents.
Mm-hmm.
I get people singing, and some very wild conversations going, and
these people, are they very advanced in Alzheimer's, or is it various?
it varies. It varies.
Various.
Yeah, it's not a homogeneous group.
Right.
Some are pretty pretty far advanced, and others.
Do they even? Have you seen some life in those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But mostly it's fun to. I mean, it's fun to engage conversations and songs with people that'll latch onto it to a certain extent.
Right.
We'll sing a song, and then somebody will have great inspiration about a song we should sing. It happens to be the one we just sang, but who cares, right?
Right.
Say, oh, we just sang that.
Right.
And they'll look startled. But it's usually all in fun.
Okay. That's good. Now, tell me about your Spanish translations. You've done a lot of Spanish translations, or some?
Yeah, mostly of Martí, José Martí.
Tell me about him.
He's known as the father of Cuban independence.
He was a poet too.
He was a poet, very much so. Yeah. He didn't live to be very old. I think he was just in his early 40s.
Yeah, like Cesar Chavez, didn't live long.
Yeah. But anyhow, Martí, he spent his life doing his best to organize and foment a revolution against the Spanish colonials that owned Cuba at the time, and finally managed an invasion force.
When was this?
1895. This was, and he got, alas, he was instructed to stay back because they knew he was going to be the president of the new republic. But he just couldn't hold out. He got on his horse and rode towards his forces and got shot dead.
And he was a good poet?
Oh yeah. He's known for the great leaps towards modern Spanish poetry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was a political poet. Are you in any way a political poet? Do you consider yourself?
No, I mean I'm haphazardly political.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Some would argue everything's political.
Yeah, I don't make a strong go of literal statement of what's going on. You want to hear what I'd consider a political poem that I wrote many years ago?
Go ahead.
Okay, sure. It's called None of the Old Familiar. When reasonable men lost ground in the dense histories that precede this lie, a quiet lessening of light was all the heavens ever answered with, the way few knew themselves the darker off. Even those few who knew the pain the gentle mind must know in failing God, Even they acted out the germ of empire's loving knowledge of itself, and trusted worship, though they'd lost the state. Stirring this loosely into present context, the token measures that the just man takes who hears his world has flown apart do not suffice to add one candle power where only death has ever drawn a crowd. How we adorn the dream is all that matters. The messengers are at their posts, pecking the season to its close. None of the old familiar serves the land whose random saviors murder even ghosts.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think Donald Trump will use that.
Yeah, there you go, yes.
Yeah. Now, so tell me, this latest book that you just had out in the Wellspring of the Year, okay, was from Link's House, was published, other books of yours. What's the germ of the idea for this book? I mean, is there, some people say they just put poems together. Is that how you are, or just?
Well, you know, it's, as it says, it's a new and selected.
Yeah.
I wasn't I didn't select. The editor did.
Okay, and did he put it together in some sort of thematic?
Well, he did, and you know, and I collaborated on that to some extent, yeah. But, you know, loosely.
So there is a loose theme to this.
Well, in the Wellspring of the Ear is obviously a spreading kind of image, you know. It's not something that's restricted to a you know, a persistently consistent theme, I don't think. But, well, you know, I have read through it, and things do follow each other pretty nicely. Could be all in my mind, you know, but, yeah. But I invite others to see it that way, too.
Okay. All right. So you got the invitation.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just going to, you know, we got another 12 minutes, so I just want you to read from your work.
Okay.
Whatever you choose to read.
All right, why don't I do one from the Ibbotson?
Okay.
This one is for, you know, for when we grow old and all that.
Okay.
Don't, you know? It's called time-lapse photography. You've heard this before.
I might have. I did. I should. I read, get the book. Yeah.
How tightly timed, the mystery of aging. We lie down young, we wake up old. Imagine faith, which is a mustard seed sown in our brains and breeches, hot to grow. Arthritic twitches are a gift from God. Though atheists get them too, no one knows how. You've heard of faculties, those fascist boards that rule our intellects? We mustn't lose them, though frankly they can be such sassy bastards. It rains today. I'm in my lean-to, poking the shadowed air with my savvy finger, being all there, figuring the slate of all I've done, of all I'd ever mean to. Sane, mad, my mind is glad of both. I have my faculties in mellow measure, yet do without them sometimes when it seems there's something not quite sane that must be seen to. A day like this, the rain, my snug redoubt, I'm old enough to juggle mortal thoughts, but not what you would call decrepit, would you? Sure as Christ rose, we're being photographed. Sequential frames the reaper posts at random. Old's the new young, dead's the new old, I guess. A dash of irony, a drop of gloom. I'm only saying there are pictures taken. The young, the old, they pose, they decompose.
I want you to use a little of your Irish accordion. Let's get that on.
Why not?
On record, huh?
Sure. In the way. So much preparation. Tan corto el amor.
Don't play Lady of Spain, all right?
No. Tan corto el amor, tan largo el olvido. Neruda. Huh? So short, the loving, the love. so long the forgetting. Here's a song that has nothing to do with that. Fiddler's Green. As I walked by the dark side one evening so fair, to view the salt water, to take the sea air, I heard an old fisherman singing this song. Won't you carry me home, boys, me time isn't long. Tie me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, oh shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I heard tell, where the fishermen go if they don't go to hell. Where the skies they are blue and the dolphins do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Tie me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, oh shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see ye someday in Fiddler's Green. When you get to the docks and the long trip is through, there's pubs and there's clubs and there's lassies there too, where the girls are all pretty and the beer it is free, and there's bottles of rum growing from every tree. Tie me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, oh shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. No, I don't want a harp, not a halo, not me. Just give me a breeze and a good rolling sea. And play me old squeeze box as we sail along, with the wind in the rigging to sing me a song. Tie me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, oh shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. So.
Thank you, Thomas.
My pleasure.
Well, that was quite a song. Want to read some more of your poetry?
Sure.
Okay, or play or whatever you wish.
I know. I'm not sure. What kind of poem would I say? I'll say a poem I wrote, I don't know, 50 years ago or so, called An Old Country Fellow.
Okay. Old?
An Old Country Fellow.
Okay. And this was from your collection?
It's in the new book, but it's also in the old book.
Okay.
Yes. But I'll stay older if I do it in the. Okay. An Old Country Fellow.
Okay.
So they would never ask of him to leave, nor would he leave, nor could he well believe they'd want him gone, but only to go on, a blathering, an atavistic gnome, old as the centuries that blessed the shadowed crevices of stone with moss, a meadow in his own right, all inwardly afire, 10,000 tonguely shadings painting him angelic warden of the face of earth, his own face knolled and furrowed to full worth, an old country fellow, for whose clear memories of green-creatured nights wrapped in outlandic mist, the children of his descending star would sit frozen behind their eyes, their helpless bodies held in his arms of pipe smoke, the pure song of his ancient heart's most fondly rendered words, whisking their souls away to better worlds, to wider, wilder days. But here, the sun might rise and set without a single smile stealing between the grown-ups and their bread, and these, though good to him, as was the rule, thought him a queer old lad and wished him dead. Kind of a morbid ending, but that's how it was.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you got some more time, 5 minutes.
Okay, shall I
So?
do a parting song?
Yeah.
Too
could do
soon
that.
to part.
It might be, you got another small poem by heart?
Yeah, let's see.
By the way, are you reading anywhere soon?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we'd like to advertise, not the fact that I'm not reading anywhere soon, but I probably will be, and I hope you'll come.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, well, here's a little signature poem of mine called Plan for the House. First we will frame the space, not with ink and hammer, or lines of stone, or vortex of ideas planed and notched, but as it comes to us at night, an ocean for the rolling floor, walls of wind, and over us the years, and all as even as our hearts first planned for this, the space of us. The devil take a crooked house. Our level for these surfaces is love.
All right, now a parting song might do.
Yeah. Let's see, so. It's almost rigged. This parting song is called The Parting Glass. You familiar with it?
The Parting Glass?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I will not.
Of all the money e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I done from want of which to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades ere I know, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts ere I know would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all.
That's great. Do you have a website, Thomas?
No.
Oh.
Yes, I told you, man. You're Luddite. I'm Luddite.
Yeah.
I'm Luddite Senior.
Yeah, you're Luddite Senior, yeah. So, you're a member of the Somerville Bagel Bards also,
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
which meets every Saturday.
Yeah, very happily so. I love hanging out with these people.
Yeah, at the
Or
Audubon
our
Pen
school.
in Davis Square. Starts at 7 a.m. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Tomas O'Leary. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Doug Holder.